What's up, YouTube? Real World Ryan here, Chef Boy RP. Thank you for coming to this video. You must be an aspiring filmmaker. And if so, fantastic. Good for you. Seriously. Very good for you. Like my brother says, I love that for you. Shout out Jelani. On this channel, I love to talk about films, movies, filmmaking, the experience, working in the industry, talking with others who work in the industry. I want to review movies, review TV shows that I do watch, even if they are super late. Like, I still haven't seen all of Breaking Bad, but I'm going to watch it and I'll talk about it. You're on YouTube because you want to find out some information that's going to help you make the decision that you want to make. And I'm going to tell you some things that might be a little unorthodox. That's just who I am. I'm an Aquarius. You know, the way that I think is a little outside the box, and I hope that you're here to listen, here to learn, here to gather some details and take with you. How they say it? Take with you with what you want. Take what you want with it. Take with this thou wilt something. I don't know. Take what I got to say. Eat a grain of sand. Go somewhere. Make a movie. I don't know. I'm going to take that cut again. You want to be a filmmaker and you're curious about what are some of the best movies that you should watch if it's going to help you in your career, if it's going to help you with your craft. And you clicked on the link because you saw that what I'm going to share with you are some of the best films that every aspiring filmmaker should watch. And we'll get to that. But I have some opinions and I want to share those. And I hope that these opinions, these thoughts, is something that's really going to help turn some wheels in your mind and really make you think differently about your approach to film and filmmaking. So first, I want to talk about a couple places you can go to actually find some different movies that you can go watch. And this is kind of the same as what you might see in other videos on YouTube or other articles on the internet. The number one place that a lot of people are probably going to recommend is IMDb. They have a list of 250 of the top rated movies of all time. IMDb is a great resource for any filmmaker, for any fan of films, any fan of movies, any moviegoers, any movie watchers. It's a great place. You can find out a lot of information about the movies that you love, movies that you've never seen, movies that are coming out. What you can do is just start your own research rabbit hole and take a look at all the things that they have on that list of 250 and pick a number and start there. On that list, I've seen maybe of like the top 50, I've seen about 25. Now, does that disqualify me as a filmmaker? Absolutely not. If you've seen 0 of them, does that disqualify you as a filmmaker? Absolutely not. But looking at that list, it's a great place to start if you're not really sure on maybe what kind of filmmaker you really want to be. I can't knock these listings because it's valuable information. As a filmmaker, I think it's important for you, as much as it's important for me, to actually watch other people's work. And it gives me an idea of how to kind of craft myself as a filmmaker, model myself after these other people who have made these fantastic movies. The Criterion Collection is a great body of work. I do believe I saw at one point they had a series of Afrofuturism. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's definitely a great resource to look into something that are, things that have been made by people who might make the same kind of movies that you might want to make. I think if you are magniloquent enough to perhaps call yourself also a cinephile, that's the way you want to go if you're looking for what movies to watch as an aspiring filmmaker. And I say it like that because there comes a sense of pretense, I believe, in maybe calling oneself a cinephile. Yeah, I think it's a little pretentious, but, and that's a big but, that's not to say that's a bad thing, because anyone who's into movies and into films that way come from a place that is different than where I come from. However, as a filmmaker, if that is your goal, that is your intended output, that's your journey. It's part of my journey to even know about it, to perhaps watch it for the sake of just seeing what other people do. But the Criterion Collection, from what I understand, is, it's a collection of a great body of works by filmmakers from all over the world. But that's a great place to go if you're looking for something to kind of sink your teeth into. And I really mean sink your teeth into, because you're probably going to need the subtitles on because, like I said, it's from around the world. So a lot of them are probably going to be foreign films. Outside of IMDb, the Criterion Collection, where else you can go to find some of the best movies that you can watch if you're an aspiring filmmaker? Gore's Internet. Take a trip down that rabbit hole. Open up a web browser, open up a search engine, and just type in best movies of all time. You're probably going to find more videos like this on YouTube, more articles like the one from Paste Magazine, like I listed down below, and it might open your eyes to something that you might not have ever thought or heard of before, which is great. I think as a filmmaker, you should study or should watch things that aren't necessarily the most appealing to you, but do it because it's kind of a part of the craft. It's kind of a part of paying your dues, I would think, as a filmmaker, is just watching stuff that's maybe a little out of the ordinary. But you want to know something? Something that all of these things have in common, whether it's IMDb, Criterion Collection, anything else on the internet that you might find, they're all biased. They are. They are biased. B-I-A-S-E-D. Biased. And bias, at its root, is preference, prejudice, and without reason. Let me break that down a little bit further. The bias of these lists, these collections, or these suggestions that they're telling you, you got to think of who created this list, who said that this is the best thing you should watch. These are the top rated. These are the greatest things you got to watch. Where they're coming from is a very specific worldview, if you will. And what I think is that their perspective is that of someone who is either just a fan of movies. They really like to just watch movies. They really like a particular movie a whole hell of a lot. Or they could fall on that spectrum where, what they watch and how they watch movies is in such a specific way that they're only going to recommend, they're only going to say things that further their worldview. You look at IMDb. That list is generated by the users of IMDb. Those are fan-rated films. So whether those fans are other filmmakers, whether those fans are just avid movie watchers, whether those fans are film critics, that list of top 250 is fan-based. So there's no real point or kind of direction on why these are the best films, the top 250 films of all time. These are just the top rated films of all time is really what it is. And anything else you find on Gore's Internet, anyone else's videos that you're going to watch that's not this video, they all have a certain bias. A lot of them are really a lot of the same stuff. And it's not to say that what they have to say about these films is wrong, but I have a different perspective. I have a different opinion. I have something different to say about what to watch if you are an aspiring filmmaker. What I think is going to be most impactful for you as a filmmaker is to really think about who you want to be. What kind of filmmaker do you want to be? What kind of movies do you want to create? What kind of content you want to create? Find those movies and study those movies. I think that's really what's going to help you as a filmmaker. Find the movies that are close enough to the kind of things that you want to make and watch those. That's it. That's the list. That's the list of the best movies that you should watch as an aspiring filmmaker. The kind of movies that you want to make, watch those. And watch them again. Watch them with friends. Watch them with lovers. Watch them with enemies. Watch them with frenemies. Watch them with your kids. Watch them with your parents. Watch them with your great-grandparents. Watch them alone. And watch them again. And again. And again. And again. And again and again and again and again. When you're watching these movies that you love, the kind of movies that you want to make, you're breaking down different choices maybe that a director made. You're breaking down a scene that is so monumental in the movie. I highly recommend that you take a scene and watch it frame by frame. Watch how the camera is moving. Watch how the actors are moving. Watch how they're being still. Watch their eyes, their body language. Listen to what they're saying. If you can, go find the script. Read the script. Write an alternate ending. Shoot an alternate ending. That's what's going to make you a great filmmaker. You got to practice. You got to practice your craft. And you got to practice it in a way that is going to make you the kind of filmmaker that you want to be. I'm giving you gold here. Watch the credits, because damn it, everyone below the line made your favorite movie your favorite movie. So watch the credits, please. Watch the credits. Shout out to everyone below the line. Why do I say watch the movies that you want to make? It's because filmmaking is such a personal craft. It's such a personal medium, like any other art form. It's such a personal thing. Here's the thing about being a filmmaker. It's like J.G. Wentworth says in those commercials. It's your path. Follow it how you need to. Like I said, ask yourself, what kind of movies do you want to make? What kind of filmmaker do you want to be? Really think about that. And as you're writing that down, or as you're thinking about it, as you're somehow pondering the answers to that question, and you're thinking about those kind of movies that you want to make, and you think about the kind of movies that are out there right now that are just like that, write that list down and keep going. Don't stop watching movies. For example, IMDb's list at the top of 250 best movies of all time, fan rated, is Shawshank Redemption. I've never seen it. I might have seen glimpses. I know it's Morgan Freeman. I've never seen it, and that's okay. What I have seen is Thor Ragnarok. I like Thor Ragnarok. It's pretty freaking cool. It's colorful. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's gritty. And it deals with a heck of a lot of personal trauma, family issues. It deals with family ties. It deals with the past. It deals with the future. It deals with living in the mother frickin' present. I love Thor Ragnarok. Freaking love Thor Ragnarok. It deals with destiny, fate. What are you supposed to do? What's supposed to happen, whether you know it or not, whether you want to accept it or not? So, final thoughts. If you're an aspiring filmmaker, if you call yourself a filmmaker, content creator, what have you, my main point is that no one can really tell you what movies that you should watch to better your craft. Filmmaking is a very personal experience. Everyone experiences filmmaking very, very differently. It's very intimate. This isn't to say that those lists, those categories, those catalogs, collections, anything that you might find are wrong. They're great resources. It's a great way to get you started on where to go if you don't know where to go. But what I'm telling you is start with yourself. What's going to make you into the filmmaker that you want to be? What do you enjoy about the process? What do you enjoy about the experience? What do you hope to accomplish? Follow that. Look at others who are doing something similar. Look at other works that are very similar to what you want to do. Study those, break those down. But when it's all said and done, it's really just up to you. Those are the movies that you got to watch. That's it. That's the list. Chef Warrior P. Out.